I left my voice somewhere
In a good way.
church. Hands up, down. No, it was the kids. I was trying to teach them a few moves and then we were getting them wrong and then I was like, are you looking at me right now? Yeah.
And then your voice just disappear and all the
Just
kids, oh, it's a
disappear.
miracle. Sometimes here in Taiwan, we think that the Taiwanese way of functioning, I'm just talking so much bullshit, what is I want to say?
I need to make the intro for this video because this
Yeah,
guy has no idea what he's doing.
Take over there.
Hello everybody, my name is Helen and welcome to this channel. What is the name of this channel?
I'm Jonas.
Okay, yes, welcome to this channel and today we have a special guest who is...
I'm Jonas.
Yeah, you're gonna keep doing that. I'm Groot. Are you gonna keep doing that?
I'm Jonas.
And now I have no idea where to go. Man, I thought this was easy. This is not easy at all.
What?
Today we are going to talk about a few things. See, I'm doing great. I'm done. This is so difficult.
Hello everyone, my name is Jonas. Today I have a YouTuber in training, Helen, here, all the way from Uganda. There are a few things that in other countries are rude or they are even illegal. But in Taiwan they are totally okay. The first thing that is very obvious for me, because I took the Uber here today actually, and the driver of that Uber, he asked me if I was German, and I say no, I am Swedish, and I asked him why he think I'm German, and he said because your facial structure looks very German. And since I came to Taiwan, I have had so many Taiwanese talking about that my nose is big, or that I look German, or that I look tired. Like, Taiwanese feel very free to comment on other people's, or that I got fat or something like this. And in Europe, this is it's a big no-no, You can't talk about facial features and connect that to anything more than your look, If you have something that you can change, like you have something in your teeth, then you can mention it so that they can take it out, but you don't say that someone looks German based on their facial structure.
I thought you got married to somebody from a different culture so that you can blend in these things.
So try to make the mixed kid.
Yeah.
This is also something that I hear a lot of time, like, oh, when I say a Taiwanese girlfriend, they say, oh, mixed kids are really, really cute. Like, I feel like me and Charlie, we are some dogs trying to make the perfect puppy. Woof, 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 woof.
9 months later.
Hello, darkness, my
Woof.
old friend.
This is not the truth,
That's not what I was thinking. I just
Okay.
asked you blending in, because you're married to a different culture. So you kind
course.
of just start accepting certain things.
I even do them myself,
You're blending in,
I
right?
saw my neighbor the other day. I care about him, so I asked, oh, you look a bit tired today, are you okay? Blah, blah. So yeah, because he had to go up at 4 in the morning, go with his wife's mother to Yangmingshan because she wanted to see the sunset. So he had been up since 4 in the morning and he was actually really, really tired.
Oh, in my tradition, you can never hang out with your wife's mother.
That's really that's a great tradition. Can we bring it to Taiwan? Maybe you have some story relating to your hair. Just guessing.
When you mentioned that, I remembered something.
Yeah.
Like, I think I'm used to the thing of how do you wash your hair or how do you do this? Is that
Yeah.
real or fake? But that's okay, man, because if I tell you it's fake, somebody out there has real hair and you're gonna think every black person's hair is fake. And it's not true.
It's real or fake?
Now that's the thing, I'm not gonna tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the secret of the whole thing.
Yeah.
So there is this friend of mine, he has a daughter, a very, very cute little girl.
Okay.
And she has her natural hair is quite long.
Yeah.
So her mother usually braids it.
Oh.
And she braids it and then looks puffed up. It just looks like really big and cute.
Okay.
Like a
okay.
very small girl with this braid hair. She looks so cute, right?
Yeah.
Every time I look at her, I think her hair looks amazing. So there is a specific day that she's on the MRT with her father.
Okay.
And this woman who is seated right next to the father is looking at the young girl for some time. And then suddenly she stretches her hand and touches it. She just reaches for the girl's hair.
Yeah.
And then starts doing like this, And the father, who is so offended,
Of
does
course,
exactly
even-
the same thing to the woman. He just put his hand back into the woman's hair.
How did the Taiwanese woman react to this treatment?
I don't know, but if this lady is listening to us right now, don't ever do that again.
I just feel so sad for that little girl. Maybe she's really afraid of the...
For this girl, it's not a problem, you know, because I'm
Okay.
sure people have touched her hair. I'm
Yeah.
sure her fellow kids, because, you know, like school at church,
Yeah.
kids will always do stuff. So I'm sure it's not a big problem. But for her father is like, how you touch my girl like that?
Okay.
And then the dad told me, like, it was only fair because she will not understand how my daughter feels
Of
unless I
course.
do the same thing with her.
Of course, if you just say something, she's gonna say, oh, but it's so unique hair, I want to touch it, it's so beautiful. She will make an excuse for herself, of course. Can we get this guy on this show? I want to hear
can
this
ask
story
him.
from the direct. That's the best story I ever heard.
I can ask him because I really want to see him tell the story by
Yeah.
himself. Because I tell it and I feel like he would bring out the best.
Oh my
Are you
god.
crying
Yeah,
right
almost.
now?
Yeah, it's so funny. No, it's really, really
As
funny.
it is, the next time somebody just touches my hair, I'm gonna do the same thing.
Because your hair is very special, of course. Especially here in Taiwan. Like, do they touch your hair or how is that?
They do. They do.
And what do you feel about this? Do they ask?
Yes, most of them do ask.
But not all of them. There's more stories here, we just need to keep digging.
If somebody is having a conversation with you
Yeah.
and they're talking about something different, you're talking, like you don't know each other so much,
Yeah.
but you're talking, and then suddenly they just go like that. Usually you don't react.
They do that?
Like that, you're just talking to them and they're getting comfortable talking to you, but they feel like asking you, and then they just go like, you know, sometimes you just, because you're already talking to them, so you don't go like, don't do that, you know.
If I was talking to a Taiwanese, it's the first time we meet and we had a natural conversation and we are connecting a little bit, you know. And all of a sudden that person would reach out and touch my hair. Yeah, I would reach out and touch their hair. I would do what your guy friend is doing.
That guy is
he's-
winner. That
he's
guy is
really, really
winner. I
good.
totally.
Sweden is kind of open. Like you can take an alcohol in a what am I saying? You can take a beer in a park, like we are sitting here. We can take a beer. It's okay.
Yes.
You can drink in a lot of public places. But in Taiwan, it's even more extreme because you can buy a beer in Family Mart or 7-Eleven. And in Sweden, there's only one place selling alcohol, and you cannot drink in that place. It's just the one liquor store that is government owned. But in Taiwan, you can go to a 7-Eleven and you can take a beer there and you can sit there and drink. A lot of times before I go to party, I go to 7-Eleven with my friends and have a beer there. And it's like something that I think in a lot of parts of the world it's very hard to go to a 7-Eleven and have a beer. In Sweden, they are not allowed to sell a beer. You know, you don't see Taiwanese like just like dancing.
Just like
when
go
there's
around
a-
over there and think.
You go to a concert, everyone loves that concert, no one is moving. You know?
Everybody's phone is just right. Like,
Yeah. So this is very similar to Sweden. So we get very drunk to overcome this shyness of making new friends, and then we make friends. So that's it. Yeah.
You know, like in Taiwan, people line up most times, like to buy food or to get a mask or anything. They're
Yeah.
gonna line up for anything, and they're very, very patient people. Or even to get into a bus,
Of
they're
course.
gonna line up.
Yeah.
And then there's this friend of mine. She's from Uganda, and she didn't know how this lineup thing works.
Damn.
So the thing is, she was in the line waiting for the bus,
Yeah.
and then she thought of, I'm thirsty. I should get myself some water, right?
Yeah.
So she gets out of the line, because in my country you'll just stand and look, you know, like the person right behind you, and you just give them a signal that I am here. You don't even need to say nothing. You
Okay.
just give them a signal that I'm here.
Yeah.
So she moves out of the line,
Yeah.
and then she goes buys water, and then she comes back and goes exactly where she was, and they just tell her, go right back.
Oh,
She's like,
that
I've
poor
been
girl.
here. It's
Yeah.
like, I've been here. This is where I was.
Yeah.
And they told her, not anymore. Because you got out of the line,
Damn.
so you have to go at the extreme end of the line. And she was so offended. She came and told me. I was like, baby, it's Taiwan. That
Yeah.
happens. She's like, no. But the guy was standing right behind me, and he knew it. I'm like, not in Taiwan.
If you go to the night market, you know, and you are there with the Taiwanese,
Yeah.
and there is the one stand that has the longest line,
Yeah.
maybe 1 hour of line. That's the Taiwanese. I gotta say, wow, this is the best food in the night market. 100%, even maybe it's just a 30 Taiwanese dollar guabao or whatever.
Yeah.
And that guabao is probably worth standing in this line for 1 hour.
Wait for 1 hour.
The long line will just like, that's like a 5-star review.
They're so patient. They just wait for all the time.
And
So good.
but I know the Taiwanese really value the quality of the product, so they will line up a
Yeah.
lot.
You know, there are times when we are in a very like a tense environment.
Yeah.
Say like you're on the MRT or on the bus, and then someone farts, you know, and everybody looks innocent. You know, like if you fart and you know, do something like
Yeah.
to make the rest of us not blame each other, because everybody's looking at each other, you know, and everyone's
Yeah.
like, and, you know, whoever gives the worst face is the one who didn't do it. Clearly, it's not him because he's so offended right
Okay,
now.
okay, yeah.
And then the other people look extremely innocent.
Yeah.
There are times where I go like, was it me who did it and I didn't know? Because everybody looks so innocent.
But what is this different in Uganda? Also in Sweden, of course, you don't want to take ownership of the fart.
You know what? Sometimes I wish they were loud enough so
Yeah.
that everybody can know, aha, it was you this time. But you know, in Uganda, like if you're having lunch or something and somebody first, they're gonna kick you off the table.
Yeah.
Because they know it's a natural thing. You can hold it or at least take it somewhere. They're gonna probably kick you off the table. But somebody's gonna tell you of like, oh, just never do that when we are eating. Any other time, not when we are eating. In Uganda, people will go like, don't do that out loud, or at least don't let us, you know, like just go somewhere, move.
And in Taiwan, it will be not acknowledged.
Nobody's gonna acknowledge.
The last time I was in Sweden, I got really called out by a stranger. And I will tell you what happened, because I had been to Hungary for a wedding, and we were taking the flight back from Hungary to Sweden, so there was a lot of Swedes taking the flight. Hungarian food is very, very spicy, contains a lot of meat, a lot of this kind of things. They have a dish called goulash, and I was eating that a lot, you know, for 1 week, and my stomach just became some kind of big bubbly thing.
Yeah.
And then we were gonna go onto the plane, and there's a little queue to board the plane. And I thought I really needed to release one, and I thought it's better I do it here, because if I do it on the plane, you know, it's a closed compartment.
You supply everyone.
I thought I'm gonna just do it here out in the wild so that it just goes away. No?
Yeah.
And this was not a nice one. So anyway, at least I managed to do it silently, you know. But what I didn't see was that there was a kid behind me, you know.
And you're tall.
Yeah, so what happened is I released it, and that kid, you know, I thought that kid was gonna faint. And then the mother and the father is there with the kid, you know, and the father said, oh, the smell, you know, it smells so bad, like pointed out, and said, oh, and blame the kid, because he thought it was the kid
Yeah.
who did it. And then the mother said, I don't think it was the kid. And this is the most direct this is the most direct thing you can ever do to point it out to someone, you know. And I was the one in front of them.
Well, that
So
was kind of like, I know how my baby's fast.
yeah, exactly.
Not
This
my
was
baby,
not my baby.
Not my baby.
Yeah, so she like, of course, directed it to me.
Yeah.
She didn't say it was him. Well, we were the two there. It was me and the kid. So it's not. Don't think it's the baby. Yeah. Then I felt rude.
I think that was rude. You felt it for a kid.
But I didn't. I thought I did, because it was a little bit. This was before social distancing.
Have some
You know.
tissue because I really want to cry right now.
I didn't know the kid was there. Oh, poor kid. Poor kid. I did something yesterday that I felt so stupid when I did it. So incredibly stupid. Because I normally, you know. No, I cannot say
Oh, come on.
It's so embarrassing, but it's so stupid.
You know, it's
Because-
okay. Let it be.
Because I was rude, okay? I
Bring
was
it on.
rude,
Let me
yeah.
see.
So normally a lot of girls come and take a photo with me, you know, sometimes, and they say, "Oh, you're so tall, blah blah blah." And it's okay, girls say it, so I feel a little bit good. And I try sometimes to maybe look a little bit less tall, because if I look tall, they will look very short, you know. So I
Yep.
try to do this. And then I went to a restaurant yesterday, and the guy there, he has to take, very short guy, okay, and he has to take my temperature, but he could barely reach, like he's very short, okay, but he could reach, but he could barely, and he said, oh, ni hon gao, is what he said to me, you know, like our compliment, oh, you're tall. And then I thought I want to help him, so I like go down like really low, you know, so that he can, like, but he can already reach it. So I just wanted to help him, and I feel like, okay, I'm like kneeling, so fuck, he must have felt so super short when I did this, you know. It's kind of like, I mean, like, why the fuck did I just like lower down? Like, it's something cute you can do when you take a photo with a girl, so they feel better.
Yeah.
But you don't do it to a guy when you try to measure something, measure your temperature.
What was
you
the
know?
look of his face?
I don't know, I didn't look afterwards, I just thought. So like my reaction is like, wow, you are so short, I have to go down so you can measure. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. This it's just me being rude. Being rude and stupid.
I don't think you meant for bad when you did it.
Yeah, I meant like cute.
Thanks for referring to a guy as a dwarf.
Yeah, that's what I felt. Like, oh, bending down so he can take my temperature. Okay, he was short, but I didn't need to bend down. He could still take my temperature. So he like give me a compliment, and I replied by being fucking rude. Like, here, I help you out. There's a little bit higher expectation on guys here to provide for girls or help girls out. Even though the salary in Taiwan between guys and girls are much more similar now, but still the mindset that the guys should, you know, pay a lot. Kind of things. And when I came back to Sweden, and for my sister and my friends, you know, I try to help them carry their bags. I mean, there are girls we go shopping, and I help them to carry their bags a little bit. And those girls in Sweden, or my friend in Sweden, she feels very offended. She's like, why are you carrying my bag? It's like I can carry it myself, because she feels when I carry her bag, she feels a little bit like that guy when I lower down so he can take his temperature. You know, he feels a little bit like how to say it? I made him
Degraded.
smaller. You know, I feel a little bit degraded. And also these girls, when I carry their bag, they feel like they're a little bit like they're made into something like pretty who cannot take care of themselves. You know, while in Taiwan it's very opposite. You know, my wife, if I don't help her with carrying her stuff, she feel it's not right. You know, so
Not romantic.
yeah, so this is like the balance. In Sweden you have to act in one way, make the girls feel more self-dependent? Sufficient, yeah, self-sufficient. While in Taiwan most of the girls will feel, if you don't help them, maybe they feel a little bit offended, especially if it's your girlfriend or your wife. What do you think about this?
Well, in my country, if like we went out on a date or something,
Yeah,
usually the guy pays the bill,
yeah,
and in Taiwan, you split the bill.
yeah, yeah,
For Uganda's case, the guy feels like he's obligated to provide
yeah,
for the girl, and because that's how the society trains the guys to be like, providers.
yeah,
So most times you find that there's a family of a lady who works, a guy who works, but the guy pays all the tuition for the kids, medical, everything, like every single requirement, and feeding, tuition, every single thing. You will find like this is the way it is. They both work, they both have jobs, but
yeah,
the guy takes care of most of the responsibilities. And because this is what, but you know, because people like the change is still coming here and there. So there are more women who are also willing to do the same.
yeah.
But in Taiwan, most times when I try to do it, usually people will ask me why. And at first it was a strange question for me, because sometimes I just want to do it because really there are people who treat me, when they treat me, I never ask them why.
Yeah,
Why should they ask me why when I treat them?
yeah.
So at first it was strange, but after I got used to it.
Anyway, I think we have discussed a lot of
Unrelated
bullshit today.
things.
So yeah, if you guys have something that you think is okay to do in Taiwan but rude or even illegal to do abroad, or if you did something in another country that was very rude, but you only find out later that it was rude, that's the most interesting one. Then please write a comment. Please go to Helen's Instagram, check out her Instagram or her social media platforms. And also, if you like this kind of content, please follow me, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.